Hello survivors, welcome to Generation Zero Tips, Tricks for Beginners. I'm Striker Dynasty Games, and welcome. I am here to give you, from my experience, on what you can do to limit your deaths. And I say limit because you're gonna die, it's gonna happen. These are machines that you're dealing with. They hardly miss, and they do more damage to you than you do to them. So, hey, buddy up, get a friend, get out there, approach this game, take down these machines, and take Sweden back as you approach 1989 and going into the 1990s. Anyways, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to limit your deaths and to get more from your encounters, your exploration. And I'm going to go with tip number one right now, and that is play defensively. Everything I'm going to say after this is basically just going to go back into my golden rule, which is play defensively. That's right, play defensively. I know we like to run and gun, get cocky. You know what? You can do that sometimes, but you're just going to die more. So trust me, play defensively. And when I say play defensively, that means collect as much ammo. So this is my tip number two. Collect as much ammo and collect as much med kits as you possibly can. You can't have enough in your inventory. One encounter with a tank and a few machines that overwhelm you, it's going to drain your ammo. It's going to drain your medical supplies. As you can see here, majority of my inventory is pretty much ammo. And as you can see, the items that I'm currently carrying, 2 out of the 4 slots is medical supplies. Okay? Play defensively. Now, another way that you can play defensively, and my tip number 3 is, you're going to see clothes laying around as you explore. This is not a fashion game. Alright? I know you want to look good, but sometimes you got to look silly in order to give yourself protection. And what I mean is, some of the clothing items will actually give you certain resistance. So, for example, gas mask, gas resistance. There you go. Now, if you go and you, I don't know, let's say pick a jacket, right? Here we go. Windbreaker jacket, explosion resistance. Now, it doesn't look like much, but if you can put all of this together, and depending on the type of build that you do and the way that you invest your skill points into the skill tree, it can help tilt that advantage back into your favor for every time you are encountering the machines. And yes, there is a skill tree. There's an extra layer to this game. I love it. Combat, support, survival, tech. I encourage you to invest in the inquisitive mind because you're going to get more XP from completing missions, which is going to mean that you're going to level up faster, which means you're going to get more skill points. And the more skill points, well, you're going to get more things that you can invest in, like component damage. Again, we want to do more damage, and we want to take less damage. Lockpicking. I encourage you to do the lockpicking. There's some really cool stuff that is behind a door or two or several doors across the map that is blocked off to you, and the only way to get in is to pick that lock. Armor. Look at that. 10%. Explosive damage resistance. Bullet damage resistance. Play defensively. Again, my golden rule. You want to take less damage, and you want to be able to do more damage. That is the key to Generation Zero, and probably all shooters, if I'm really thinking about it. But definitely in this one, because it's not like other survival games where a lot of the focus is on crafting. No, this is about shooting, exploring. Speaking of shooting, let's talk about the weapons. If you play looter shooters, shalooters, then you know gray means basic. Green, then blue, then pink. The pink is pretty cool. It's actually from a recent update, the Rivals update. It's called Experimental Weapons that do a ton of damage, that have some cool perks, and you get it by destroying rival machines. Rival machines are machines that pretty much, pretty much evolve throughout the map. And as you can see, the map, it's massive. 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 You see that X right there on the map? That's a rival. That is a machine that has pretty much transformed through either killing me several times or just seeing the machines that I've laid to waste. And the more machines you kill, the more some of these machines will evolve and become harder. And the harder they are, the better the reward. This is a little bit of the starting point. You're going to see several safe houses. These are areas that you can fast travel, so I encourage you to explore as much as you can and to be as detailed as possible, because in the beginning of the game, you're going to have some weapons laying around, some in plain sight and some in areas that you need to really explore. This is an example of a rival. The terror of the Overby Air Base, Giant A662. So that machine's evolved, and I think the longer I allow that thing to roam around, it's going to evolve even more and possibly give me better loot when I do take it down. Now, speaking of encounters, here is a few tips on how to approach these encounters. Take cover. Don't go out there out in the open in the farmland shooting tanks and machines, and you're gonna die. You're gonna die. You want to get yourself a door open, a house, you know, a little what do you call it, a shack or something, where you could just basically get in, cover, shoot. You see that? Cover, shoot, cover, shoot, cover, shoot, right? And understand your environment. Going back to one of my tips that I gave you earlier about collecting ammo and medical supplies, try to collect as much as you possibly can. This was stupid of me to use. Why? I'm in an area that is currently a spawn point. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means if I die, I can choose to spawn back here and continue that combat with those machines that killed me. The cool thing about Generation Zero is if you do damage to a machine, let's say you get them all the way down to 15% health, if you die, they don't go back up to 100. They actually remain at 15. So it's awesome. It's okay. You can die, spawn back, go ahead and finish out the rest of the 15%. Right? So be smart with your encounters. Hold on to your ammo. Hold on to your medical supplies. If you need to die and spawn back, do it. Now, if you're going to run across the field and it's going to be a long distance, then you, of course, want to take my next tip, which is cover. Look at this. As I'm reloading, I squat down, right? I prone down and I reload. No need for you to be out there standing in front of the machine, right, deer in the headlights, reloading while you're taking damage. No point of doing that. Crouch down, split second, reload, get ready to go back into action. So I know it almost sounds like common sense, but when I watch a lot of other streamers, I see this done several times. They just, you know, I don't know if it's being cocky or ego or what, or they just go in running and gunning, and you want to be smart. You reload, crouch down, go inside a house, do what you got to do to prepare yourself to continue that encounter. So those are my tips, those are my tricks. Everything goes right back into play defensively. Okay? If you like the video, take a split second, hit the like button. Take a split second, subscribe. I upload a ton of videos. I stream time to time. I love Generation Zero as well as I do love other games. But right now, Generation Zero is my baby, and the thing that I love about it is that Avalanche Studios, they're very active. They listen to their community, and they're doing everything that they possibly can to lay out a roadmap that has a bright future. The latest release was a DLC called the Alpine Unrest, and they included NPCs. The fans, the gamers, they wanted NPCs, and Avalanche Studio was kind enough to do that. So it's great. I encourage you to join us in this community. Generation Zero is a phenomenal game, and that's it for me. If there are any tips or tricks that I left out that maybe you learned through your encounter, through your experience, I would love to hear it in the comment section. You could even chat with me on Twitter, Striker Dynasty Games. You could find me on YouTube, and sometimes you could even find me on Twitch streaming live. That's it from me. I hope you really did enjoy. I hope I didn't blab on for too long. And if this helped you, again, hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. From me to you, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Striker Dynasty Games. I'm out, folks.